are your thoughts on Lampard? Like, what were your thoughts in the beginning, and what are your thoughts now?
Yeah, so I think Lampard, because he was a club legend, has been fast-tracked as far as being the coach of Chelsea. I do get that recently it seems like young coaches who hasn't stopped playing very long has been fast-tracked ever since Pep with Barca. You know, we've seen several young coaches get that opportunity. So it's okay. Now, the thing about it, though, is he really had just one season as a coach, as far as I know, which is with Derby County, whereas Pep had several seasons with Barca B team, and I believe he had some coaching experience before as well, right? So yes, he was fast-tracked, but I won't fight him too much on that. But the thing that I see so far with Chelsea is that he knows how he wants his team to play, but I don't think he is there yet as far as getting them to play to what he wants. He kind of knows what it looks like, but I don't think he is able yet to make the jump between what he wants and how to get there.
Okay, and you think that would come with more experience?
I think it will come with more experience. I think it'll probably come with talking to other coaches. For instance, one of the ways in which Pep developed his identity is from Bielsa, right? Exactly how he wanted to line up his teams, right? I see where Chelsea is not very fluid in attack, right? They seem to, if you watch how Leeds play, for instance, it always seems like they find in space, right? The movement is great, right? No matter they don't really focus on defending, but when you see Chelsea, they're cumbersome in attack. It's always like the other. Is a group of guys who know how to play football, but they don't have a clear idea of how they want to. They're not organized in attack, right? So it's very slow. It's cumbersome, and eventually it depends on the skill of one or two players. So it's not in the final third. They're not clinical. They don't seem to have a clear idea. The guys don't seem to have a clear idea of how they want to break down oppositions.
Say your thoughts on
Yes, ma'am.
Your thoughts on Lampard, being a direct opposition fan.
No, well, I'm a football fan first, right? So I have strong thoughts on Lampard. So at the beginning of the season, I was like, well, Oli and Lampard first to go. When Frank Lampard changed to the 4 at the back, they look much better. The last heavy defeat was against Liverpool, I think. And then they switched from the 3 to the back. He pushed away Sarri's formation, stopped forcing Jorginho in the team, and played Kante position, Kovacic and next midfielder, most likely Mount. They've got Ziyech back, and he brought a nice spark to Ole, and Ole started off running. Timo had a little stretch, playing good, but maybe he's not accustomed to the winter break. So he started, it looks like he's having a low in terms of his form. But in terms of Lampard, I don't think he's doing that bad. I mean, 6 is not sackable. If you're 6, you have to get at least to the end of the season. Come on.
Right. So I guess we're all on the same page. I think it's only fair for them to give him till the end of the season and see where it goes. Plus, like I was looking up the stats myself, and apparently every November, December during the festive period, Chelsea takes like a nosedive. It even happened with Sarri, and it happened last season as well, and happening this season. Okay, Osei, next question. I'll start with you because you're the Arsenal fan. I know we've been saying that Chelsea jumpstart Arsenal comeback, right? But what exactly did he change? Because the last conversation we had, you were like the whole 3 at the back, blah, blah, blah. How many things did he change?
Well, for sure now, he's not playing 3 at the back. I wonder why that's so miraculous that we look more stable. Let the guys play. It's so much easier to manage a 2 at the back. If you have 3 at the back, it's because you have specialist players to play at 3 at the back. And probably that is all they can play. Willian came out of the team. Willian has to be managed. Like I said, we bought him in the later part of his career. I don't think he can play every game. I don't think he can play on the wing. I would play him as the number 10 solely with the 4 at the back, 3 midfielders, Willian at the number 10. I think he'll play better there. Like where Emil Smith Rowe is playing well now.
Well, Willian, the thing is, it's like Osei said. If you look at Willian's career, he's a brilliant player, right? Both for Brazil and for Chelsea, and I think he played in Russia before, Spartak. Yeah. But the thing about Willian is at a stage in his career where you can't expect brilliance week in, week out, especially in a wing position, right? Mm-hmm. You have to play him to his strengths. You have to manage his minutes, right? Yep. And because he looks demotivated, it's putting a lot on him to have to drag young players, being the experienced head, and trying to make them play week in, week out under that pressure. So he has to be managed, right? So I don't think he's washed up yet. He's definitely, obviously the wrong side of 30, but with the right management, I think you could get the best from him. My
point is, let there be a sense of competitiveness in getting position. Don't make it like Willian has to start every game, Xhaka has to start every game. You should be played based on your performance. And so if he takes Smith Rowe out of the team now, what is that going to tell that youngster? It don't matter how good you play, you're going to come out of the team now. Your performance should govern how much minutes you get.
I think that has been one of Arsenal's problems in the last few years, ever since Arsenal, was a great team under Arsene Wenger. I think one of the problems is that there hasn't been a lot of competition. So the guys on the field don't have a lot of accountability. Pep actually takes it to the next extreme. If you look at Pep has those guys playing for their lives, right? Look at Stones in the team right now. Whereas he couldn't get a game, it was Lampard. Now Lampard can't get into the team. Pep has those guys scared, right? And those kind of coaches, they want 2 and 3 guys so that the one who's playing has, he has a fire under him. And I think Arsenal lacks that. If they can get some quality players to back up the positions, or at least the manager brings in players who can, run the current team in such a way that they know that there's a guy ready to take the pick.
That's a solid point. And I think Frank Lampard tried to go for that too with the each position should have solid competition.
I mean, you guys have a lot of people for a lot of money, I just say. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, next question. So a lot of people today, and just in general, have been criticizing Bielsa. A lot of people are like, oh, the media really overrate him, and they don't understand why he's supposedly so great. So was this story of Bielsa exactly, and is Bielsa overrated?
Well, the fact that people talking about Bielsa and saying he's overrated, is he underrated? I think, and people from big teams obviously, proves to me that they respect him, right? Considering that his leads he coaching. That is number one. Number two is, look at the players look at the players playing for Bielsa. Yep. Compared to Chelsea or ManCity or whatever, or even Liverpool, and they are running these sides, right? Patrick Bamford, who is, he was a Chelsea reject, right? Look how many, I think there's a stat or something where he has the most chances or something in the EPL, something like that. But it's a high amount of chances, although his finishing, his conversion rate is very poor. So that's to tell you how much the chances they create, but Bamford is limited as a player. That is the type of players he's dealing with. So to me, for Bielsa to be running like this in the Premier League, where they're creating chances against Liverpool, they're creating chances against ManCity and so forth, and giving them a run for the money, to me, that is a testament to the guy, right? He's a great coach. I personally think that he is a better coach than a lot of the Premier League coaches. Now, the kind of coach
Lampard said.
Well, the kind of coach, he's definitely more experienced, and I think he'll organize them and attack better. But I suspect that Bielsa is a type of coach who would rather work with guys with less talent and show them how to play football. If you look at his history, he's not a trophy winning coach. He's a guy who teaches men to play and teaches teams how to organize and play, right? So I don't think he's overrated. I think he's working with a limited group of players. He probably can focus a little more on defense. I was listening to this guy today, Robbie Earl, and he was saying while the football is great and it's exciting and stuff, they need to be able to deal with world-class players like a Kane and a Son, right? They need to have a plan for these guys, right? So I don't think he should switch to no counter-attacking football. I admire him and I applaud him for not playing like a bunch of these lower teams, Sheffield and some of these teams, they're just West Brom, Big Sam, just defending all the time, It's just, they need to tighten up some stuff. Some games they win 4-0, some games they lose 5-0. Great entertainment, but I just think that he working with what he have, but there's some things to improve on.
Well, say you had any thoughts on Bielsa? I mean, I did look at the game today, and honestly, I feel Richard had a great point because I was watching the number of chances they created, and if they had scored almost all the chances they had created, they would have at least drawn the match.
Bielsa is, for lack of a better word, a maverick. Mm-hmm. He's crazy. All-out attack. What is defense? All right, so I just like to appreciate managers for what they do, right? Not every manager go and play the same style. Klopp, hard running, gang press. We're going to try to run them off the park, right? Mourinho, low block. We're going to form that base. If they give us anything in attack, we're going to attack their weaknesses and score, all right? Who else? Pep. We're going to try to overload the midfield, have men go out wild, put them out. Midfielders make inside runs, try to score from there, right? Bielsa, all-out attack. We're going to stretch the field, make it as wide as possible, create chances down the wing, try to overload on one side, try to play out the back, but as fast as possible. And I think that's where Tottenham won today. But they play the football that everybody enjoys in the Premier League. Once you watch a Bielsa game, you know it's going to be an entertaining game. I like that football. Once you have a Leeds game on, anybody going to tune into that.
Why hasn't he taken the opportunity to I'm sure he's probably had opportunities in the past to go to a bigger side with better players.
He's crazy. He always walks out on some team because they disagree. He always has problem with management. Always. Do the history. Do the research. Always. Mm. If you get back, he's going to walk out.
Yeah.
So he kind of have a reputation then?
Remember, he couldn't get in the to coach championship just so because of, I forgot the reason. Pochettino had to write a letter for him to give him special privilege to coach the championship. He's not normal.